Hello everyone and welcome to Modded Slime Rancher. We are back with another video where we are going to decorate Mochi's Manor. And as you can see, I am flying over the area just to see what my canvas, is that how you say it? Basically my workspace, like, okay, this is what I have to work with. Very nice. I will explain that floating thing over there later on. I thought, let's do something a bit different, having this voiceover kind of thing. I want to try it out, so let me know what you think. As you can see, we are now in one of the tracks at Mochi's Manor, where we are basically just looking at, okay, how does it look? Where are the trees? Where are those magnetic stone thingies? Because normally we have an outer area like the dry reef, moss blanket, indigo quarry, but the only thing you really have with Mochi's Manor is, well, these tracks. So as you can see, we have trees on the outside and the magnetic stones a bit more on the inside, if that makes sense. Alright, as we can see, there are a lot of custom gadget sites, obviously, cause it's me, and what's the one thing all the decoration videos have in common? Well, there's a lot and lots of trees. Or bushes, or that kind of stuff. So, of course, this is gonna happen just the same thing. As you can see, I also use the mossy stump technique to make certain items a bit higher than others, just to give it that little detail, because when you're down in the valley you don't really see that much, but you do notice the small difference. Just that detail is very important in my opinion. But I'm mostly placing, it's not really planting, mostly the nimble needle trees, and from time to time I will put in the magnetic core, is that what they're called? I think so. In there to give that a bit of a difference, because or else it's just going to be constantly trees and trees and trees. And as you can see here, all the trees I'm placing, I am turning them, looking, okay, this looks the best. If I turn it this way, will it look too much like the other one that is literally close? I especially do that with the ones that are more a bit apart from one another, because then it's like easier to notice, like, oh, it's all the same tree. And when they're more close to each other, that's a bit easier to hide, to say it like that. So I decided, just like the tracks, on the sides I will place there the trees, so you have that path where you can walk. It gives also a bit of a connection to the tracks. I thought that was a nice idea. Here I'm placing now the mossy tree stumps to decide, okay, this is where I want the trees that are going to be a little bit higher. I made that one mistake with the tree that is now higher than where it's supposed to be, and I believe I actually put there another tree underneath. Well, it wasn't that one. I'm just looking now at everything. Okay, those are all the spots, yeah. And then the tree there, the floating tree stump, that's the one I'm gonna end up putting another one underneath to make that tree even higher than the other ones. To be honest, in the end, you don't really see it, so I could have just deleted it, but I thought, you know what? I just know that small detail, let's just put it there. I mean, now you know too. And I do this a lot. Take a step back, see, okay, this is how it looks. I don't really know how you call it. I know there's a name for it, but just to see, okay, this is how it looks. This is where I'm going, or how am I going forward from this? And just decide, oh, this needs to go, this needs to be added, this one needs to be moved. And as you can see, I just love placing trees. Like, there's so many trees. It's actually quite ridiculous. I'm just building a whole forest. And this took so many it's ridiculous. When you realize how many resources it actually takes to make all of that, it's actually annoying in a weird way, because like, you want to just decorate, build instantly. You don't want to do the whole grinding part. Oh, there we go. Yeah, there we place it, so that tree is even higher. A little bit of a detail. When you're a bit like flying further away from it, you notice it more than when you're down in the valley, obviously. But I like just those little details. I just need a detail counter of how many times I say that word by now. And as you can see, I also from time to time place some of those magnetic core arrays. I think that's what they're called, right? If I can see that, yeah. Magnetic core arrays, and then we have 3 versions of it. I also am gonna place some of the grass type that comes with the Mochi mouse decoration, but I'll be more using that for another part of the decorating video that you will notice probably at the more towards the other half of the video. Here I'm just really looking at my trees and placing them and see, okay, this is where I still need to hide some of the stumps. And I like that it's very foresty. There I'm just taking a stroll, looking. Okay, this is how the view is from down the valley. And what you also noticed soon after this one is that at the very thin edge I actually remove to make it less crowded. Because in the end that looked better than having them full of trees. So here and there on the Lion King rock, that's what I call that one. So and there you have it. There, I'm removing some because, as I said, weirdly enough, it looked better without some trees than with all of them. And even the magnetic cores to make it a bit more, yeah, how do you say that, separated or not too much the same, I think. In the end, it all just ends up with me looking at the surroundings. How does it look? And because it's me and my love for trees to place them, I just amplify it with a very large amount, as you can see in all my decorating videos. You can click there in the corner to see them. And that's what I very much like about this custom gadget site mod, because when I first played Slime Rancher and I was able to when I was able to like decorate and stuff, I always wanted to fully decorate it and found it very sad that you couldn't. So thanks to this mod I can live out that dream. And this is an interesting one. First I was like, okay, what am I gonna place here? Maybe something with trees. That was my first thing. But then I decided, you know what? How about we just make a sort of like piece of art of the magnetic core arrays. I thought that would be quite funny. Like sometimes you have these sun clocks in a way. Is that the original name? I actually don't know. I think it is. So I thought, you know what? It's different. Something else than those trees, because I mean you do need a little bit of difference and not constantly the same thing. So I decided to do that, and I also like how they're like the floating rocks are going around. Oh, and here I also decided to use the grass. Ah, I thought I only used the grass with the islands you will soon later get to see. But I really was happy with how that looked like in the end. That was quite nice. Then I'm just looking around like, okay, where's everything? And then I decided to randomly go to the lab where I completely a little bit forgot what I was going to do there. What was I doing? Oh, I was checking something. Oh, I thought I was not going to have enough. Probably, because that's the only reason why I would go to the lab and fabricate some stuff. Okay, great, good. You made some stuff. In the end, I think I have like too much left over when it comes to that part. And I was checking out, what was I searching for? Oh, I was looking for the wild grass patch. Yeah, we have enough of those. And while we were there, we have a certain Gordo that finally got a name. Thanks to Kuba, this Quantum Gordo has now the name of Butters. Thank you, Kuba. I like the name. Thank you for suggesting it. We have now Butters, the Quantum Gordo. Very epic. And now that we are back at Mochi's Manor, we decide to look around and oh, I love that thing so much. I'm also there just enjoying how it looks. It doesn't look like much, but I just like it. Normally we have lots of clusters of trees and bushes, but there we have a cluster of those magnetic core ones. Right, and here we are at the islands. I think that's where I'm gonna, yeah, this is where I'm gonna start. Of course, we see a lot of those floating islands at Mochi's Manor, and I decided, you know what, let's make custom ones. So, the reason why I was looking for those wild grass patches was that I noticed with Octon's Retreat that they had collision. Which, for an interesting fact, is that the ones from Mochi's Manor don't have collision. So the way to, well, stand on those floating islands was if I used those from the wilds and then hid them away with Mochi's Manor's nimble grass version, because as you saw when I went up, the wild patch is see-through, so that looked obviously a bit weird. So I decided to make a few islands. So first we have this one from the Nimble Valley, where you could sort of walk on, and as you can see there, I fell through it. Then we decide to place another one. I was looking, okay, this is too far away, maybe not. Here I'm gonna use the tall magnetic array as pillars to build up the height of the island, which I don't really remember on top of my head specific islands I make in which order, but I also ended up making a normal one, I think, like without very much anything, one with a mushroom, and also one with the pink tree of Octon's Retreat. Technically the same one you also see at the waterfall. Oh wait, that is that one exactly, lol. I liked with that one that you actually like saw roots, which I liked very much, and then here we are trying to make a bridge towards another island, but then was like, okay, this is gonna take a while, so I'll just end up with making a pillar, because this just was like, okay, I need to go this way, and then you know what, I'm like, okay, no, never mind, I'll just go down and make a pillar. That's easier. So I think this is just the mushroom island. But okay, there we go. Then I was checking the height. Is this a good height or maybe lower? Well, this was a good one, so I'll just remove these pillars now, and then this will be, like I said, the mushroom one, I believe. And it is quite interesting because now I realize that there was some sort of clipping in a way when I placed it. Normally it goes very smooth over the surface when I want to place the gadget sites, but with the wild grass patch, it sort of clipped, which was interesting, and indeed there is the mushroom. Now I think about it, I maybe should have made like from each an island, so you had like the moss blanket, Octon's Retreat, technically the wilds, and then we also should have made one for the Indigo Quarry and the desert and the oh wait, no, I don't need to make the one for the ancient ruins, cause that one we are making right now. I remember something with a yellow tree. This sounds very professional. Well, it's a good thing I'm technically not a professional then. But yeah, we're making a bit lower island here. And this is the one where we will place the... No, first it was a sending crystal, but ended up with the sunburst tree. And I love those roots. I love that they're sticking out. Oh, no, this is where I realized there was some kind of clipping. Wait, is it clipping? I just forgot the word. Oh, good job, me. I'll place a pillar next, there you go, and that is the Ancient Ruins Island that I make a tiny bit bigger? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, okay, there we go. And just hide it in the tree, the magnetic stones, or else it's just gonna be like, oh no, too many of this. And this is where I decided to remove the bridge that I made, even though it would have been quite funny. So that's now gone, and as you can see, we've got quite some spots left, and I also wanted to do something on those circles. So I think I ended up placing, yeah, the peach tree on all 4 of them, I think. Because to be honest, I didn't really know what to place there. That's it. I didn't know what to place there, so I just ended up placing the peach trees. Because I already had one, and in a way I was like, maybe I should preserve it so that it's like only one special tree. Even though I already used it on one of the floating islands. But ended up still going for it. And I ended up also using more, well, technically just 2, glass sculptures, glass sculptures from the desert, because I was like, I would like to put something in between. I know it doesn't really make any sense, but you know, welcome to decoration. We can just place whatever we want. And here's some more trees, because we love our damn trees. Nice the bridge. And I think that is... No, look, what am I doing? I'm just looking around like I'm crazy. Okay, now we place more of those, okay. And indeed, again, more to the side, placing trees just like the tracks. I just end up copying a lot of what I see in the surroundings and amplify it. That's literally all I do. And wow, me actually using more of the grass. To put also a bit of color variations, I used the wild grass as well, as you can see. And more trees, who would have guessed? And removing, because we want a little bit open there, because apparently too much trees is also a thing, who would have guessed? In the end, I wanted to have very much the difference between a valley and then the forest. It's basically, well, surrounded by. And that's what I try to make. And there I decided suddenly, let's put a tree stump there, which I think... Oh yeah, I end up putting a tree on there. Yeah, okay. And where the heck are we going this time? Sometimes I'm quite confused with how I work. What am I doing? I don't need anything. Oh, I was out of trees. Well, would you look at that? Me and out of trees, that's of course a no-go. We obviously need to get more trees, and that's when I decided to upgrade the gardens. Oh, because I need more rock plorts. Yeah, that's also a thing. And as you can see, this video is a bit more uncut as the other ones, because I wanted to bring you all a bit more into how I'm decorating and and how, yeah, how it happens. Does that make sense? I just take you along with me, so this is also part of it. When you don't have enough, you just need to collect more, and I just upgraded the garden to hopefully get more food for them, and that's when we went to bed. Okay, very important. Rest. Very important, says I. The one that can't sleep from time to time. Anyway, we've got more food. Oh wait, that was the whole reason I slept. Because we needed food and plorts. Which ridiculous, because it's like 20 rock plorts per needle tree thing. So having 75 is technically only still 3 trees, I believe. Right? That's how it was. Yeah, that's exactly how it was. Even though we were able to make 4, it seems, thanks to the other rock plorts I got earlier. But there we go, we now have trees again, so it's time to play some trees. And I actually can't remember if I kept those trees there or not. Oh wow, I actually removed some. Yeah, I think I actually removed some because it was a little bit too much and wanted to keep a sort of open path towards that. I actually don't know what it is. The machine where you can get your... That's a random mushroom. But the machine where you can put in your echoes and ornaments. So it's still closed off very much, but there's like a small pathway, like you're walking in the forest. And oh, I very much like how this looks. And that's very open, which is actually quite interesting for me, because I wanted to keep it more open with the main ranch area, and it also ended up being very much full of trees and bushes. So I decided still, here and there, to put some trees, looked around and was like, should I put more stuff here? That was my thought progress, like, should I put more stuff or am I just gonna leave that open? They're nice floating islands, having trees. Oh, there you have it. I think this is where I'm done. Yeah, so we have floating trees with some different areas, which I like. Maybe I should add more, let me know. A valley that is surrounded by a forest, or so the story goes. Even though it's very sad few trees over there, but it's all fine. I really liked what it did, the feeling it gave me of all those trees. I was literally like I was in the forest. I like that. Duh, that's why you did it. But yeah, no. But yeah, so there it is, the Mochi's Manor. I would like to thank you all for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. You can click here on other videos if you want, and I'll see you soon again.